Hi everyone, this is E, the Empty Nester. How are you today? That was Reba, my cat that just flew past over there a second ago. Happy first day of spring, everyone. I hope you're doing fine today. It's kind of chilly here in Missouri. It was in the late 30s Fahrenheit, early 40s will be the high for today. And it's not really the typical go outside and plant something day here in Missouri, though, kind of chilly. But, you know, you can always get your potatoes in the window and get them chitting. And the reason for chitting is to get them, started early, to have the sprouts to produce plants on them. I went to the Mennonite store and to the Morgan County Seeds yesterday and picked up some. These are what's called all blue seed tubers, and this is what is it? Not Peruvian, Purple Majesty, and they're kind of close to the same type of potato, but bred differently. They're both similar color on the outside of the skin, but a little bit different in taste and size also. This one will get a lot bigger than this one. Or this one will get a lot bigger than this one. I don't remember. you know, this one I only paid like 80 cents for about a half a pound. This right here, this container's full of them. It's hard to get a picture and hold the camera at the same time. Let me pull it up a little and see. It's a whole new experience when you're doing video with a cell phone versus a regular video camera. But if you were watching a couple days ago, I took some potatoes that I had. Island Exotics, hi from Canada. Good to see you. It's pretty much still really cold up there too in Canada. Let me show you a couple. This is one of them that was growing sprouts, that was kept, not completely with enough sunlight to keep the sprouts short. And I put it in soil, and if you look right here, see how I've got roots already started? I can just pull this off and put it in dirt, or I can go ahead and just plant this whole tuber. As shriveled up as the tuber is, it's best to go ahead and plant this whole tuber where this one is big enough that it'll just rehydrate the tuber, put in soil around it, and I can just pull some of the plants off, like sweet potato slips, and put this back in dirt or put it in a window and let it chit again and get more slips off of it. And they're actually called pull sprouts. Escaping the matrix for good. Nice to see you. Thank you, I appreciate it. And let me show you something, what it's like here. This one's where I took the sprout off, and see over here, it's got some roots started. I can just put this in a container or a pot or in soil right now and get this potato growing. And this is a potato that escaping the matrix for good you're probably familiar with. This is one I added to my collection last year. And this is lumper. This is part of the Irish potato famine. It was well known for killing a lot of people because the what was it called? The disease that got, the blight, killed all the potatoes and left a lot of people hungry. But I've got this one rehydrated to get it planted, and I'll be growing lumpers this year. Are you guys growing potatoes? Raise your hand. Am I the only one that has potatoes as a favorite? And then here's another one. This one's got all kinds of sprouts growing roots on it. Yep. Escaping the matrix for good is growing potatoes. I had a feeling you were. Island Exotics, yep, you're a potato fan too. I knew you had loved you guys. You know, if we only lived closer, we could all sit down and eat some of our potato harvest next summer. Or this summer, I should say. This is kind of like an alien, all the little sprouts that came out of this one and all the little roots. But I kind of tried to refrain from buying anything else other than potatoes. And then I got some Happy Frog potting soil because my other soil was left outside over the winter time. I don't want to bring bugs into the house from that soil. So I bought a fresh bag of that, and sometime, probably after my surgery, I'll get another bag of Pro Mix. Escaping the Matrix says we're going to try and supply potatoes all year round this year. That's a great idea. I hope it works for you really well. Another thing I picked up yesterday, I grabbed some more ginger roots. My ginger got left outside last year, so I don't have any in my own supply right now. And I cut some of this off and put it in a glass of water and boiled the water and added it to my coffee, or added coffee to it, because right now my throat is starting to get sore and kind of my nose is thinking about getting runny, like I'm catching a cold or something, or it's just warm cold, weather change or something. I'm not sure what's going on with it, but hopefully I'm not catching something. So, what is your plans for today on the first day of spring? Anyone? Do you have any plans for today for planting in the ground, or is it still too cold in Europe? It probably is in Canada, I know that, but I'm not sure. Escaping the Matrix is cutting more wood. When do you start planting in your area? I brought up the chat. It's still really cold there. Okay. So you're probably late April, early May when you start planting. Our temperatures are behind our daffodils and let's see, crocus just bloomed, and okay, you've only started tomatoes and peppers inside, right? And then you'll plant out in May or June or April or May. We normally would plant out the 15th of April, but this year you can't count on this is the day you're going to plant out anymore. Next week you'll be planting other veg. That's good. Just bottle fed your lamb and doing chores, Exotic Island said, in Western Canada. That's great. My daughter Amy's got a bottle calf that she's feeding right now. He's a Black Angus, and she named him Chucky. And he's really adorable. I think he was like 9 days old. Or, I have to recheck again. But, he's maybe 2 weeks old right now. Late April for Escaping the Matrix on peppers and tomatoes to go in the polytunnel. Okay. Laurel Harris, happy spring to you as well. I planted my kale seeds inside today. That's awesome. I hope they do really well for you. That's one thing I need to restart is my perennial kale. It didn't make it through the winter, and I can't remember if it was last winter or this past winter, that didn't make it, and I didn't restart it, possibly last spring. And sea kale too. I need to restart that from seed when I know that I'm going to be able to take care of all that. For right now, everything's on hold, as in, I'm only going to plan on planting the basics and things I need to plant to keep them going so I don't lose my seed stock on them. And then, depending on how the surgery turns out next Tuesday, I'm counting down the days a week from today. I'll find out, after the surgery if it works. And if it works, then gardening is on, as far as, me getting help, getting someone else to help me plant things that, will be able to work through the garden, throughout the year. But it's not going to be a big year as far as a lot of work. I'm not going to be putting in a lot of things that you store away. Okay, Escaping the Matrix says, I still have not forgot E. I will do a video on sea kale on the coast where we live. That's awesome, because I'd really like to see it in your environment where it actually came from to begin with. And I forgot which other kind of, there was something else that you dug up that you did a video on that was vegetable that, like sea kale, that you were taking back to your place for food consumption. But I thought it was really neat to see that in person too. But I'm not going to talk a whole lot this today. I'm just going to keep this at 15 minutes or under. If there's any questions or you know, I have to figure out a topic for tomorrow. Thank you, Laurel. I appreciate it, and I appreciate the confidence that it'll work out well. Exotic Island says, my lamb was born here. Her mom didn't have enough milk. Oops, the comment went away. Let's see if I can get it on the computer. It's 10 days old. Your daughter is lucky to have a black Angus. Angus are nice cows. Is she planning to put the calf in the freezer? It's possible. This is their first one on their new homestead. They didn't want to get a female because females cost a lot more to buy them. But once they know for a fact that they can do it, because they bought two males, and the gurney, it's a brown and white calf. It was only 4 days old, and it came with diarrhea. And this was their first time buying a calf, so they weren't real experienced at what to look at or know, before buying it. And it didn't make it more than a day and a half. It died of dehydration. And it was pretty devastating. So, it's a learning experience right now, but they have hope to, get a female and have a milk cow and breed her, and raise their own cows. They've been clearing their land for a couple of years, trying to get enough land cleared, to raise cattle. Or not a whole lot of cattle, but, enough that they can breed their own, like you're breeding your own. And then I've seen an influx of sheep down here, where normally we don't see sheep. There's like 3 herds now that I saw yesterday. Thank you. It's nice to be doing some gardening right now, or planning is what I'm doing right now, is planning for the garden, getting the tubers ready, getting potatoes ready. And this year might be the first year that I do potatoes in containers. I'm not normally a container person for potatoes, but if it makes it easier, I may do potatoes in the containers. Plus see what comes back up that's still on the ground from last year. And then my daughter called. If you remember one of my videos a few back about Colonel Sanders, the rooster that we brought in and helped him get through frostbite. We took him back to Tessa's, and the flock didn't accept him back, and he kind of disappeared, and we didn't have a clue where he went to. He'd been gone a couple of days, and her neighbor called her yesterday and said, come get your chicken. he went down to her house and kicked her dog out of the doghouse and took over the doghouse. And at, daybreak, he's down there, crowing the roof off her house. And she's actually from the city, not used to country things. So, she prefers the rooster crowing, across the road, further up the road. So Tessa has to go down there and get him and bring him back to her house and figure out if she's going to get rid of the two smaller roosters or find Colonel Sanders a new home, because they just don't want to live together right now. But I guess I'm going to close for now and say again, happy spring, everyone. I hope you enjoy your day. Bye for now.